Hey, George Anderson back again with you today with another video on procrastination and some of my thoughts on the reasons why we procrastinate and hopefully how we can start overcoming this really frustrating tendency that so many of us have. We talked already about when something's unclear, how we need to get clarity on that thing in order to start taking action. We need to be specific with what we're going to do. But there are three other reasons for procrastination. The one we're going to talk about today is when something is untimed. So if something's untimed, but what that means is there's no end point to the task. And this is a really big challenge for me when it comes to something like DIY. I would put things off when it comes to DIY like nobody's business, because I know that when I get started with something, what could be a 10-minute project could turn into an hour or a half or even a full day or more. And it's going to get me into all sorts of hot water and trouble. I'm going to be trips to the DIY store and back and get the wrong bits, and I'm so at my depth, I start getting frustrated and stressed. So I just put it off, because not only is it unpleasant, one of the other reasons why we procrastinate, there's no time limit to it. Now, this doesn't work necessarily, the method of getting around this doesn't always work for DIY, but it can work with many of the things that you may find you're struggling with, some of the, when it comes to a task being untimed. And that is to ring fence a block of time that's specifically set aside for this thing. So for me, for DIY, I could put a day aside for doing something. I did that recently with my bathroom. I said, right, this weekend I'm going to set aside, I'm going to do nothing else except attack the bathroom, ripping off tiles, taking the toilet out. And I knew that once I got started, I'd have no choice but to continue. But I gave myself, because I've got no bathroom, but I thought I'd give myself that finite length of time. This weekend, I'm going to work on the bathroom. Give yourself an hour to do something. You're going to go to the gym. Give yourself half an hour to be in the gym. I remember again when I was building up the habit of learning to swim. That was something that could have taken however long. It could have taken months, years to get to the point where I was able to do an Ironman. This was a couple of years ago now. But I said, right, what I'm going to do to start off with is I'm going to go to the swimming pool 3 times a week and swim for 30 minutes. And whatever happens in that time doesn't matter. The first part is to build a habit. Just 30 minutes, 3 times a week. And that was my way of putting that time limit on this impossibly big mission and a goal that I set myself. Meditation is another great example. You want to get up to a point where you're meditating for 15, 20 minutes. I never get beyond 10 minutes of meditation. I tried longer, but it just started to go the other way, and I was getting stressed and frustrated with having to put 15 minutes aside. 10 minutes seems to be my sweet spot. But again, it came down to ring fencing that time. Only way I could do it was by saying, to begin with, I'm going to do 5 minutes of meditation. I can afford 5 minutes in my day. It's ridiculous to think I've not got 5 minutes. So I'd set 5 minutes aside, and I would just meditate. No matter how well I did or how badly I did in that time, I would be meditating for 5 minutes, and I built it up to the point where I was doing 10. As it happened, I got to 15, and as I said, that didn't really work out for me. But 10 minutes was perfect. So think about if something is this long, open-ended task or project that you have, and you know exactly what you have to do. It's not particularly unpleasant, or maybe it is a little bit unpleasant as well. We'll cover that later on. But it's this big problem that it's got no time limit on it. Set your own time limit. Just mark off a chunk of this. This works great for tidying up or decluttering. You've got a whole room or a drawer or a wardrobe that needs to be sorted out, and you keep putting off doing that thing, even though you know you'll feel amazing when it's done and much clear-headed and all those benefits that you get from having a little bit of order and less chaos in your life. But it's this huge thing. You don't know how long it's going to take. Give yourself half an hour. Say half an hour, I'm going to just focus on getting this drawer cleared. And after half an hour, I can stop. Because guess what? After half an hour, if you're getting into the swing of things, maybe you'll want to continue as well. So that's one way of getting around the untimed nature of some of the tasks that we have to do. See how that works for you. If you're aware that that's one of the reasons you're putting things off, then see how you can ring fence a short period of time just to get started. And that's often enough for your brain to say, oh, actually, no, that's not so bad. I can afford to put that time aside. I reckon I can get stuck into that thing. And then who knows, maybe you'll build up some momentum and you'll just keep on going. That's all for me today on that one way of getting around procrastination. I'll be back again with you soon. Bye for now.